So you've probably seen the gurus promising that you can monetize an AI channel in 2 days with zero effort. They tell you to buy a cheap course and spin up a new Gmail account, use generic AI prompts and post daily. So I'm just gonna put the curtains down because if you do that, you are setting yourself up for failure. Because YouTube just recently doubled its monetization threshold to 8,000 watch hours, right? And their new spam filters actively suppress mass market AI slop. So if you're still treating YouTube like a weekend hobby where you spend 20 hours a week sitting in DaVinci Resolve or Premiere Pro to edit videos, guessing what's going to go viral, you're going to burn out and you're going to get stuck in the zero view jail. If you want to make serious money, and I'm talking like 7K a month or even more than that, you have to stop acting like a creator and start acting like you own pretty much a media agency. So my name is Kevis, and I'm going to give you the exact 5-step blueprint that we use to literally build YouTube channels that are risk mitigated, because you can easily lose your channel like this. So how we use our frameworks to build turnkey YouTube assets for the partners that we work with. So let's go ahead and break it down, right? Because these are pretty much the only steps that you need, right? Step one is going to be what I like to call algorithmic immunity, because if you don't have the right foundations, you can easily lose everything, right? 99% of beginners fail before they even upload their first video because they trigger YouTube's bot farm spam filters, right? So you simply cannot skip this part. So if you go ahead and you create a fresh YouTube channel today on the same IP address that you use for everything else, and then you start uploading, the algorithm instantly suppresses your reach. You get thrown in what they call the zero view jail. And furthermore, if you scale to like multiple channels on the same personal AdSense, and let's say the worst thing happens and like one channel gets flagged, which happens, they all get wiped out, right? We literally speak to creators that are making like 15K a month who are terrified that if they start a second channel, that they're terrified of starting a second channel because they're one strike away from losing their entire income. So to operate at an elite level, you need to build corporate architecture. Like, you don't use your personal Gmails. You acquire what they call aged accounts that already possess like good baseline trust score and like, good arithmetic trust score. So what we do is we isolate these assets using dedicated LLCs. The reason we do this is that the AdSense accounts, they remain completely legally separated, which means that you can essentially treat these channels like digital real estate, not a hobby, right? It's not something you can just randomly lose and like it wipes out your whole business and you just like quit YouTube. I've known creators that this has happened to. What you want to do is that you protect the asset before you ever build the house. Now, step number two is what I like to call niche sophistication, and essentially knowing how to like pick high RPM niches. So let's get this out of the way. If you go on YouTube and you find a niche by searching best YouTube niches, it's done. It's already saturated. By the time a strategy makes it onto a YouTube channel, it's in the phase I like to call the mass adoption phase, meaning that the moat is completely gone. Okay, you have to find niches in their emergent stage, right? And for these, we use tools like NextLevel to essentially track small channels that are experiencing like significant, disproportionate, like unexplainable, like view outliers this very week. Like, for example, this will actually be a bad example, but as you can see, let's say this channel that started with only 3 videos, started 13 videos ago, 13 days ago, and they made only one video and they blew up to 400K views, right? And if this video was slightly longer, he could have monetized with this singular video, right? So we essentially use NextLevel, but the thing is, we're not just like chasing like empty views. We want to chase like high RPM. So we want to engineer channels to target audience demographics, right? For example, obviously, even though this is news content, but this would be a high RPM niche, just showing you an example. Specifically, something in the 55-year-old plus crowd. I mean, why, you may ask? Because older demographics watch the entire video and they're not going to be skipping ads as aggressively. And advertisers pay absolute premiums to sell to niches like, finance, survival related niches, right? Health products. Yeah, so we had a client, Noah, here. We had a food IT job. We hit a $9 RPM targeting this exact demographic. He went on to make 6.7K in 28 days of just 698,000 views. So you got to stop chasing millions of like empty views and start thinking about the actual ad auction. Start thinking about how to manipulate the ad auction that dozens of like hundreds of companies are paying for, actively bidding for. Now look, setting up isolated LLC infrastructures, sourcing aged accounts, and running like real-time data analysis using NextLevel, trying to find niches that are actually in niche emergence stage and not niches that are saturated. These take hours of very specialized work, right? So if you are a high-earning professional who are working like say 50 hours a week, you literally do not have the time to sit and analyze market gaps. So this is exactly why we build and manage this entire infrastructure for our partners. Okay, we're going to provide you the trusted aged account that you're going to be posting on, and we're going to select the high RPM niche and map out your 30-day a content ideation plan, right? And we're also going to install the editing team for you, right? So if you have the capital to buy back your time and you want our team to deploy this exact system for you, click the link below and apply. But picking the niche is only the foundation to actually, it doesn't matter if you only just pick a niche, you have to be able to actually pull viewers in. And to do this, you have to completely rethink how you generate ideas, right? Which brings us to step 3 or step 4, whatever you'd call it, right? So the ideation, right, is the brain of your channel. And it's literally the thing that determines if your entire trajectory, right? So the channels that we're talking about, the channels, the fact that we're seeing so many small channels starting right now and blowing up. If we go to this channel, for example, 6 videos in, just 6 videos, right? The first video itself, 1.8 million views. We're building multiple channels like this right now. Like today, no, a few days, 3 days ago, I started a new channel myself, but the very first video literally blew up and it's already at like 1,000 watch hours, right? So essentially, if you want to not make this mistake. It's a lot of mistake that beginners make. If you are sitting there, right, asking Claude AI, oh, give me 10 video ideas, you're getting the exact same list of generic slop as everyone else. You cannot be doing what everyone else is doing because Claude is not trained on real-time YouTube consumption patterns and data and outliers and all these things. So you absolutely cannot be doing that. What we do instead is what I like to call cross niche arbitrage. So we use this tool called 1 of 10 to essentially execute the strategy. What we go ahead and do is we set the filters to find videos with minimum 3x view outlier from the last year, but we don't look at our own niche. That's the thing. So let's say our channel is about Japanese health and tips and stuff like that. We're going to go ahead and ask ChatGPT for adjacent niches, right, with similar audience psychology. For example, something like the sleep niche, right? And we're going to come here and we're going to find, search whatever related to sleep, right? I'm going to find a massive outlier here, right? All we have to do is extract the psychological hook here, right? Extract the psychological hook here and literally adapt it to our own channel, to our own niche in the Japanese health niche, right? We're extracting, right, the hook that's already proven to work. You're literally like extracting human emotion and like proven hook, proven watch time, proven click triggers. You're taking that from adjacent related markets. You're taking that from adjacent related markets, and this is how you can ensure your ideas are already validated on YouTube before you ever like hit record or before you ever have anyone edit the video. Now, step number 4 is gonna be the production pipeline. So if you are coming home from your 9 to 5 job and you're spending 3 hours in Premiere Pro editing a single video, you are caught in what I like to call the freelancer trap. Okay, you are the bottleneck in your own business. Okay, you must automate the supply chain. You must automate what can be automated. What you want to do is you hire a hungry, reliable team from Upwork or specialized Discord servers that are very specific, niche dependent, like Discord servers where you can get editors for as low as like $10 to $50 a video. You want your job, your role to be the operator. All you have to do is to feed the team the data-backed ideas that you already have, and obviously also to like build your, also go ahead and build your scripts with AI. You can still write your scripts with AI, but you have to do it in a way where it doesn't sound like slop. We have like specific prompt templates that we use for this. We've also shared some of them on the channel before as well. As for the visual packaging, like the videos itself, the thumbnail to ensure people actually click, we are not guessing that either. So we take our thumbnails, right, completely generated by AI models like Higgsfield. So for the visual packaging, we're not guessing either. We go ahead and we take AI models like using Higgsfields like Nano Banana Pro. So we run them through the Google Vision API, and for this reason, we can like pretty much mathematically like verify that YouTube safety filters do not classify them as like, too aggressive or like too racy, too violent, right? For example, if you look at the screenshot right now, you can essentially see what I'm saying. You want to verify to completely remove human error from the pipeline. You don't want YouTube to ever shadow ban your reach. A lot of people don't even know this, but you also want to like have a good look at like the thumbnails that you actually look using. Is very, very, very important. Now, step number 5, guys, is going to be the ultimate leverage. This is how you actually get a lot more back with the current inputs that you're already making. A lot of people want to just do more, 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 more. Why not get the most from the amount of inputs that you're already making? So step 5 is going to be, once, let's say you have your supply chain running, you've automated your whole supply chain, you have your team, you have everything you need to outcompete the mass market channels. Once you have all these things, you have to look at your competitors, okay? If they're posting, you can also track competitors this way. If they're posting, say, 8-minute videos, right? If they're posting 8-minute videos, you instruct your team to produce 12-minute videos. YouTube's primary goal is literally to keep viewers on the platform by creating longer, more highly structured content. If you're doing this, if you're literally doing this thing, outcompeting them on length, you win by raw watch time. YouTube's all about session time. And more importantly, right, obviously because we want more money, a 12-minute video allows you to cram multiple mid-roll ads into the content. And advertisers, literally when they come to bid on your content, they have more slots in your content that they can bid for. This literally multiplies your revenue without needing to like chase extra and extra and extra and extra views, right? And that's exactly how Mike, let me see if I can find Mike here. Mike, yep, exactly how Mike right here, right? Mike from the UK generated over 16.4K in its last 28 days, right? By engineering watch time and like actually thinking about the ad auction, blah blah blah, and all these things, all these highly technical jargon, right? But this is not a get rich quick scheme, okay? This is a highly technical zero sum business. If you get a view, you took that view from someone else. Someone else. People can't watch two videos at once, right? So it's a zero sum game, and you actually have to think of it that way, that you're taking views from someone else, right? So if you're a professional and you're ready to stop acting like a freelancer and start acting like a media owner, we have about 2 spots left this month for our done for you literally infrastructure build, right? So let me go ahead and pull that up. So we keep it strict because we actually dedicate the bandwidth to install these systems for you. So if you have the capital to invest in a real asset, click the first link below and apply. If you're not a good fit, we'll tell you immediately. But money loves speed. Go ahead and take action. I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Peace.